Concept. Reading a poem. Metaphor 2.上課提過 metaphors， 大家仲記唔記得有啲咩例子啊？今課我哋嘅 metaphor 睇下佢有啲咩含義。A metaphor is a comparison between two things that replaces the word or noun for one object with that of another. Unlike a simile that uses like or as, for example, you shine like the sun, a metaphor does not use these two words. A famous line from Romeo and Juliet has Romeo proclaiming Juliet is the sun. Romeo and Juliet 就係羅密歐與朱麗葉嚇。羅密歐話朱麗葉好似個太陽咁。Romeo is comparing Juliet to a bunch of things including the sun, which he says is as beautiful as. It is just a teenager declaring his love for a girl. But wait, what's that light in the window over there? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Rise up, beautiful sun, and kill the jealous moon. The moon is already sick and pale with grief because you, Juliet, her maid, are more beautiful than she. 成段都係莎士比亞寫嘅，寫得好靚嚇。The metaphor is that Juliet is the sun and is more beautiful than others. In a metaphor, two things which are normally unrelated, 冇關聯嘅嚇，are compared with each other. For example, love is a fan club with only two fans. Besides love, there can be other images shown in metaphors in English. 好似下邊咁 explain what each of these metaphorical expressions mean. My heart sang. She's over the hill. I'll cross the bridge when I come to it. Tim hit the sack. What is an implicit metaphor? Implicit metaphor does not identify the subject directly, but is used more in the sense that a subject will be understood by the description. An example of this type of metaphor would be ready to hit the sack, meaning to go to bed, go to sleep at night after a long day at work or school. 去瞓覺咁解啊。My heart sang 呢，即係我心都沉咗啦。If someone's heart sinks, they start to feel sad or worried. 心都跌咗落去啦。She's over the hill. It means she has reached the climax of her lifetime, relative advanced in age. 即是話佢年紀已經開始衰老啦。I'll cross the bridge when I come to it. Something that you say in order to tell someone that you will not worry about a possible problem, but will deal with it if it happens. 話當嗰件事嚟到嘅時候，我就會自然會識得去對付佢㗎喇。Poems with extended metaphors. Poem. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. A tree bird leaps on the back of the wind and flows downstream till the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The tree bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soar through the shining trees, and the fat worms waiting on the dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But the caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opened his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Metaphor. The entire poem is a metaphor, with the caged bird representing those who have not freedom. 分析下 Analysis. A caged bird is unable to enjoy the freedom of other birds due to its cage, clipped wings and tied feet. 綁實晒啲腳㗎啦。African Americans during Angelo's time were restricted by unfair laws and societal oppression. 嗰啲非洲嘅黑人呢，嗰時係生活得好苦嘅，俾人哋嚟到係壓迫。Freedom is symbolized by the caged bird's beautiful song. As long as the bird is in the cage, he will not reach his true potential. A caged bird could be any group of oppressed people. The cage could represent society, physical barriers, fear, addiction, or any self-defeating behavior. And the bird's song represents the true self, that longs for something greater in life. Sonnet. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves have all too short a day. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines. By chance on nature's changing course untrimmed, but the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou wast, nor shall death break thou wanderest in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou goest, so long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long live this, and this gives life to thee. 以下係提供中文嘅翻譯。能否將你比做夏日嘅璀璨？你好比炎夏更可愛溫泉。寒風嘅璀璨，五月花蕊嬌豔，夏天匆匆離去，毫不停頓。蒼天明眸有時過於灼熱，金色臉容往往蒙上陰翳，一切優美形象不免褪色，偶然摧折或自然地老去。而你如種下繁茂不凋謝，秀雅風姿將永遠飄飄，死神無法逼你氣息奄奄，你將永生於不朽詩篇。只要人能呼吸眼不慢，這詩和你將千秋流芳。The poem is the comparison of the love of the speaker and the fairness of the summer season. He writes that thy eternal summer, here taken to mean the love of the subject, shall not fade. This love poem continues to use metaphor through the final two lines. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long live this, and this gives life to thee. Love in this metaphor takes on the characteristics of the summer, a life-giving force, and a force that somehow possesses life itself. 愛喺呢個隱喻有夏季嘅特性，賦予生命嘅力量。呢個喺某種程度上佢有生命本身嘅力嘅特性。The poem, The Journey by Mary Oliver. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting, Their bed arise, though the whole house began to tremble, and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Meant my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the wind pried, with stiff fingers at the very foundations, though the melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough and a wild night, and the road flew of fallen branches and stones. Little by little, as you left the voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strolled deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life that you could save. Oliver uses the extended metaphor of his physical journey as a metaphor for a solitary spiritual journey towards individual change. Poem: The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just a fare, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was glassy and wanted wear. Though as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaf snow step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sign, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost. Robert Frost 個作者好出名嘅詩人嚟㗎。Read a poem about the choice of one road out of two roads. What is the metaphor there? Go to the exercise about the meanings of the poem. Exercise. Read a poem, The Road Not Taken. Fill in the missing words using the list of words to choose from. Decisions, choices, role, metaphors, stick, way. Here is the answer key.